Hello, today I'd like to talk about the ISFJ type. This is my second try at ISFJ. So their functions are introverted sensing, extroverted feeling, introverted thinking, extroverted intuition. So this is the ISFJ poster from the web. They are called guardian protector, and it says they are focused, strong work ethics, detailed, cooperative, practical, routine. It says they would do good at optician, personal assistant, interior designer, musician, historian, dentist, religious teacher, artist, nurse, surgeon. Mother Teresa is mentioned as one. I am not sure. Mother Teresa might also be an ISFJ. I am not sure. Anyway, another infographic from the web. They are interested in maintaining order and harmony, steadfast and disciplined, warm-hearted, compassionate. They respect traditions and laws. Possible careers, it says clergy, interior decorator, librarian, nurse, office administrator. Jimmy Carter, I don't think he is one. And ISFJ, Mother Teresa, I'm not sure again. Tiger Woods, not sure. Kate Middleton, not sure. Careers for ISFJ, dental assistant, court clerk, nurse, accounting clerk. They like environments that contain conscientious people, that provide security, predictability, is organized, structured, maintain calm, quiet. So their dominant SI is an internal reservoir. ISFJ's auxiliary function is FE. That means they are gathering information from the external environment through their FE function, which means they are scanning the environment for people's well-being, I guess. Because they are focused on people, they are scanning the environment to see whether people are doing well or not. And they internalize, also FE is related, I guess, etiquette and social rules. So they are internalizing this information about how to behave, how to treat other people, I guess, and then they analyze it through their dominant SI function, which is an introverted perceiving function, means that they are gazing inside of themselves and introspecting all the time, and this SI, I guess, is organizing this internalized FE information into some kind of internal sensory landscape. This forms a data bank of instances in the past, I guess, and when something new happens, they refer back to this data bank, SI data bank, to find a matching course of action to follow for the new circumstance. So that's why they like routine, and they don't like things that they have not encountered before, which is represented as their inferior any. They like similar they like things that they have encountered before, because then they can know what to do in case they encounter something new. I think that must make them nervous and anxious until they learn about that new thing and internalize it into their SI data bank. Their SI develops pretty quickly until 5 or 6 years of age, I guess, and their FE must finish developing by, I guess, around 20s, early 20s. And then, by the way, as I said, their SI represents the superego, which is something within us that tries to abide by what society has deemed appropriate and normal, and fights in some instinctual wants and behaviors. that the SI forms a moral code of some sort about how to treat others. And this is the judo moral code: courtesy, courage, friendship, honesty, honor, modesty, respect, self-control. I think this relates well to ISFJ, and this is Freud's psyche model. Superego is related to morality, as you can see. And before moving on to NE, I guess their tertiary TI develops around early 30s or mid 30s, finishes developing around mid 30s. Same for INFJs, whose tertiary function is TI as well. Until that time, INFJs and ISFJs feel compelled to care for others, and that makes them people pleasers, and their superego compels them to do certain things under certain circumstances, despite and because their FE is auxiliary position, that would mean they would follow their ISFJs would follow their SI moral code regardless of consequences to their FE, because if SI prevails over FE, that means they would act lawfully, but that would mean that could be taken, this compulsion in them could be taken advantage of by certain unlawful types. And until when they develop their tertiary TI, ISFJs start noticing this, and they start building up some reservoir of internal rationalizations about this concept, and they use this TI to counter their NIFE compulsion to help others, and they become more resistant to abuse and being taken advantage of. And in their 50s, they might perhaps complete the development of their any extroverted intuition, which I related to craziness and non-traditionality. So they might become more relaxed. They might choose to not follow dominant SI, and go for extroverted intuition in some instances. They might become weirder. And this is the ISTJ-ISFJ comparison. ISFJ is more feminine than ISTJ, and more compassionate, more merciful, more nurturing. And this is the comparison from Game of Thrones TV series. Eddard Stark is an ISTJ, he is more oriented towards justice. And Jon Snow is an ISFJ, I guess, he is more oriented towards mercy and compassion. And both are lawful characters. They follow their moral code, despite that might put them in a disadvantage or at risk. Also, another similar comparison could be made between Superman and Batman. As you can see, T is more masculine in nature and more justice and object-oriented, whereas F is more merciful and more people-oriented. They represent these tendencies in people. So T is masculine, F is feminine. This is also illustrated in yin and yang concept. Yin is feminine, yang is masculine, and that would mean ISFJs, when they develop TI, they counter their femininity and desire to help and nurture others with their TI and with their masculinity, and they become more gender balanced. And this is a poster from the web showing Samwise Gamgee character from Lord of the Rings movie, saying he's an ISFJ, but don't think he's an ISFJ, he is rather an ESFJ. FE dominant types are more compassionate, more caring, but more feminine than ISFJs, because ISFJs auxiliary FE means less femininity in comparison to a FE dominant type. Samwise is more feminine in nature. He was taking care of Frodo, feeding him, carrying him, but he was not a very aggressive character, and I would expect ISFJs to be aggressive when need be, because I believe SI is nothing but a suppressed version of SE, an internalized SE, and I relate SE to aggression and impulsivity. So that means ISFJs could use, when it's necessary, ISFJs could use their shadow SE to become aggressive if their moral code allows them to do that, to protect others, for instance, to fight crime, fight criminals. So Wally from Wally movie, I think Wally is an INFJ, but here it says Wally is an ISFJ. The rule I follow for the difference between sensing and intuitive types is that intuitives will always be non-traditional and weirder than their sensor counterparts. So that means an INFJ would be a weird version of an ISFJ, and INTJ would be a weird version of an ISTJ. So if the character is well adapted to society and is not having problem interacting with others, is not in a outcast or a minority type, a mainstream type, that means that character is a sensing character. And if the character is non-traditional, weirder, that means he or she is either a dominant or auxiliary intuitive type, like this character from Lion King. Could be an INFJ or an ENFJ, I'm not sure, but I guess INFJ because this monkey was a weirdo. I think Aragorn from Lord of the Rings movie is an ISFJ. Here he says tries to convince the ghost army to fight for him, and he says he will hold their oaths fulfilled, so he is a lawful character, moral character. As you can see here, he refers to oath, honor, duty. He is a fighter, but not very compassionate, but not as compassionate or feminine like a dominant F-type. So he can be aggressive when he need be. This is Mikasa character from Attack on Titan anime. I think she is an ISFJ too. She is a very fierce warrior, introverted, but very skilled than almost all other warriors or fighters. And people become intimidated. She intimidates people. Here she mentions sacrifice to save others. She says this world is a merciless world. And this is her. As you can see, she can become aggressive. But she is also shy, sometimes shy and very feminine. but she can be intimidating, like in here. So I think F dominant types are more emotional and more prone to crying and also more prone to compassion and femininity, whereas auxiliary F types are more in control of their or less emotional and more aggressive if they are sensing dominant types. Mikasa was a more fearful character, but after some time, I guess she become more able to control her emotions and she become more courageous. I think that might be explained by Mikasa developing her TI, perhaps tertiary TI. Also Superman. I guess it's easy to confuse ISFJs with ESFJs, but as I said, ESFJ would be much more feminine. Even the males would be much more feminine than an ISFJ, much more compassionate, caring, nurturing. Here Superman says he feels like an outcast. Also, Keanu Reeves, I guess, is a real-life ISFJ character. And in this movie, Constantine movie, he is playing some kind of holy warrior type character. But I believe he is in an ISFJ in real life, a real life example. That's why I don't think Mother Teresa is an ISFJ, because Mother Teresa feels much more feminine, more caring, compassionate type than an ISFJ. Also, this is the king in the Kingdom of Heaven movie, Baldwin, I guess King Baldwin. I think he is an ISFJ too, and he's played by Edward Norton. Also some gifs about Jon Snow. And this is a character named Belcrenel from this anime named Sword Oratorio, I guess. He also plays a heroic fighter character, but he is not very stern and masculine, but more feminine in nature. I think so. The hero, the compassionate, merciful hero type fits with ISFJ, and the sterner, more justice-oriented hero types fit with ISTJ, like Batman. So this is some more gifs about Belcrenel acting heroically. And this is Artanis character from game StarCraft 2. I think he is an ISFJ as well. So as I said, I relate ISFJs to a warrior, moral, whose allegiance is to his ideology, his or her ideology, his moral code. So that would mean, I guess, their allegiance to law would prevail over their desire to help others, I believe, because their auxiliary is in the FE is in the auxiliary position. That would mean their moral code or ideology comes first. So that would mean, I guess, if their community were somehow to go against their ideology or moral code, I guess they would feel compelled to defend their ideology They would feel compelled to die for their ideology, I guess, rather than kill others. But they would, I guess, that would compel them to fight against their community, perhaps. But anyway, I relate them to like ISTJs, I relate the ISFJs to the night class in role-playing games, but they are more feminine version of ISTJ. So if ISTJ is a dark knight, I guess ISFJs would be a white knight, perhaps a paladin, but I am not sure. These are paladin characters, drawings I found on internet. An ESFJ, on the other hand, would be more community, people-oriented. But I guess FE dominant types would main focus would be to gain security through pleasing people and gaining their love, I guess, securing control and security in their community for themselves through giving people what they want. So I guess ESFJs would be more self-serving, perhaps. Their auxiliary SI and NI would be in service to their FE, so they would try to find ways. They would use their NI or SI, their moral code, to secure positive feedback from others, I guess. Whereas ISFJs would be more concerned with living up to their ideals, NI or SI ideals, I guess. So they would, I guess ISFJ would also try to help others through FE, but only in a way that their moral code allows them to do, whereas ESFJ would be less concerned with following the code, SI code, tradition, but would try to help people, regardless whether their actions are in line with the moral code or tradition or not. So FE dominant types are more community oriented, whereas FE auxiliary types, SI dominant and NI dominant types must be more ideology oriented characters. I wonder whether that would turn SI dominant types into some rigid and perhaps bigoted types. I don't know. It's also Constantine, Keanu Reeves. So I made this role-playing game alignment chart. Here we have, this is a coordinate axis. Here we have law versus chaos axis, superego, id, anarchy, order, and masculine versus feminine axis. Here I relate, for the sake of alignment, I related masculinity to evil and femininity to good. And ISFJ, because their dominant function is SI and tradition and law and moral code, I think they are lawful characters. And as far as evil and feminine masculinity go, I think because their FE and TI is almost of the same strength, their femininity and masculinity is almost balanced. but their FE is stronger, so they must be at this side of the masculine feminine spectrum, but not as feminine as a FE dominant type like ISFJ or ENFJ. So ISFJ, I guess, would be a lawful but neutral gender character. So lawful neutral character with good tendencies, a white knight, perhaps a paladin, but in role-playing games paladins are lawful good characters. And anyway, I relate this ISFJ to Aragorn character in Lord of the Rings movies. And this quadrant, I denoted this quadrant as the FE quadrant, extroverted feeling quadrant. INFJ, ISFJ, ESFJ, ENFJ. It's made up of dominant or auxiliary FE types, and I associated FE with altruist collectivism, needs of many outweigh the few, and related to altruism, control, compassion, harmony, and the elves in Lord of the Rings. So that's all I could say about the ISFJ character and ISFJ type. So thank you for listening, and bye.